I'll get quiet. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing. Yeah. And he said he wanna rest when I'm the company. Is you love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you. My one, when all is said.
Welcome to Jazzy's Music Diary, where I talk all things pop culture and commentary in music and the artist's artistry and analysis on them. In this review, I will be talking about Sabrina Carpenter and her career. Now, this is only opinion-based, and everything that I do mention is just for entertainment purposes only, and I hope you enjoy my take on it and your day continues to go sublime as your face. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Sabrina Carpenter's career takes an interesting turn as she brings you into a more mature and subtle but in-your-face way of how she does her music now even more. She went from being a Disney starlet all the way to singing commercially refreshing bops that are really like a vacation away from your problems. She started out playing the character Maya Hart on Girl Meets World, a spin-off of Boy Meets World that ran from 2014 to 2017. And it was obvious she was following the formula they felt comfortable with her having at the time, so she complied with what's acceptable, and that's what stunted her. She seemed to be primarily a pop singer that infuses R&B, country, and a lot of 60s through the 80s elements into her music. Her aesthetic is something that brings your attention to her, however, not long enough for you to pick up what she puts down. I do think that while her brand appears appealing, I feel like this is something we've seen so many times already before with Ariana Grande, and she's cemented in that. So it's not a unique wow factor like how Chaperone is. But when you see Chapo, you know her aesthetic and her music aligns with her. And Rihanna is the in-your-face rebel that gives neutrality to her brand. Nicki Minaj's brand is Barbie, and Ariana Grande's brand is hyperfemininity and with her ponytail, while Sabrina Carpenter's brand and aesthetic seems all over the place. I don't know what her current label is doing, and I hope they come up with something that's worthwhile and really matches her music, because her work doesn't speak for itself, because she's constantly presenting herself in every genre. I guess she's doing the pinup girls or Playboy or the 60s go-go boots with Farrah Fawcett hair and curtain bangs from the 70s, but you really don't know what her go-to look is or where to place her. Although not a vocalist, she can sing where her voice fits radio and commercials, and I do feel that that's what works for her. Her Eyes Wide Open era was her debut album, and it was released on April 14, 2015 by Hollywood Records. This is where she was first recording music, and I do think she faced a lot of limitations under Hollywood Records, and again, another artist playing it safe instead of writing music they truly want. In 2014, after she launched her debut EP, Can't Blame a Girl for Trying, as she wanted to make a full-length EP. All the tracks on that EP were included on the album. The album was recorded from 2013 to 2015, with the majority of the album being recorded in 2014. Musically, Eyes Wide Open is a folk pop and teen pop record with acoustic and country influences. Its production consists of guitars, piano, drums, and keyboards. Thematically, the album focuses on Carpenter's personal experiences, friendship, love, and teenage problems. The album debuted at number 43 on a Billboard 200, number 31 on the US Billboard Top Album Sales chart, and number 14 on a US Billboard Digital Albums chart. The album sold over 12,000 copies in its first week of release. This is around a time where I've seen her on TV, but didn't pay attention to her music until Disney aired her music out. And ultimately, this whole album was boring and safe and bland and very cookie cutter in my opinion, and I didn't like it at all. None of her songs stuck out to me, and it's very watered down. So I give this album a 0 out of 10. Her Evolution era is where I decided to give her music another chance. She began recording the album in 2015 after her first album, Eyes Wide Open. The album was released on October 14, 2016 by Hollywood Records and is a dance pop record. Evolution reached number 28 on the US Billboard 200 chart, and that's an alright number. The album's impacted Top 40 radio as the second single from the album on January 3, 2017. Smoke and Fire was originally intended to be the lead single from Evolution, but it was eventually excluded from the track listing, as Carpenter also said the track was, quote, was the first story that I was waiting to tell out of the many stories from the second album, unquote. I would say only 2 songs is what made the album 3% better than her last album, To Me. They just kept her boxed in, and it was really getting in the way of what she wanted to make from her music. Where her music is able to be appealing and truthfully, it wasn't. She should have just had collaborations to really amplify her sound and give it a more broad appeal than what she was producing, and man, Disney kept her boring to what they like from her. But yeah, it was just a highly safe and generic album that was definitely appeasing Hollywood Records, and it was certainly for a time period. So the only 2 songs that caught my attention on this album were Run and Hide and Thumbs. I would give this album a 4 out of 10. Next albums are both her singular eras, Act 1 and 2. Her first singular act is her third album and was released on November 9th, 2018. So at this point in her life, she's trying to keep her momentum steady, and I fell off from her music as it didn't pique my interest whatsoever. It's a dance pop album where she co-wrote all her songs on the album, and to support her album, she went on a singular tour in March of 2019. 2 singles were released for the album, including Almost Love and Sue Me, while Paris and Bad Time were released as promotional singles. The album received critical acclaim from music critics and debuted at number 103 on a US Billboard 200. The album itself is the first half of Singular Act 2. In October, she announced that the album will be split into 2 parts, of Act 1 officially being released on November 9th, 2018. During the day of release, Carpenter stated her reasoning for separating the releases, stating, "I feel with the way music is digested nowadays, I wanted you to be able to really hear each song. So technically, by splitting it into 2 albums, I'm able to give you more songs, whereas if I just did 1 album, I think a few would have to go." Singular Act 2 was released on July 19th, 2019, and is a R&B, pop, and dance record. It deferred to its predecessor album with its heavier lyrical content, in which Carpenter discusses confidence, anxiety, introspection, and self-discovery. Carpenter noted that she wanted Act 2 to be a broken down, less straightforward version of Act 1, and she called the record her most personal album yet, and debuted at number 138 on the US Billboard 200. She should have just threw both albums away, because it's not anything you will run back to and listen to over and over again, in my opinion. I felt as if it was just thrown together to get marketing strategy momentum so she can get buzzworthy noise, and it definitely failed to me. It didn't have any songs that stood out. It's definitely in the forgotten category. Like, if you hear it at least 3 times, if you literally hear it at least 3 times, you want to go back to it again, and literally like not on your own accord. As none of the songs on either album worked, so therefore I'm giving both a 0 out of 10. On to her Emails I Can't Send era. It seems as if she was trying to reach in her mature bag of her music with more adult themes that are really suited for coming-of-age young adults to an adult audience in their 20s. This will be her 5th studio album, and its record was released through Island Records on July 15, 2022, and is primarily a pop and folk pop record with synth pop production and elements of alternative pop, bedroom pop, electro pop, and incorporating more storytelling into her music. The album is themed around emails and messages she intended to send to others, but instead kept private. The album was accompanied by 5 singles: Skinny Dipping, Fast Times, Vicious, Because I Like the Boy, and Nonsense. To promote the album, Carpenter embarked on an Emails I Can't Send tour in September of 2022. On March 17, 2023, Carpenter released Emails I Can't Send Forward, a deluxe edition of the album, which included the single Feather. Nonsense was released as the album's 5th single on November 14, 2022, alongside a music video. Before its release, Carpenter performed the song on her Emails I Can't Send tour with a new alternative ending of the song Every Night, which went viral on TikTok. And I know she had to be tired of that, but I genuinely don't think it was needed. I just think that she was trying to do her best with keeping the public engaged on her music as to why she did that branding tactic. The song received critical acclaim, reaching number 56 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 32 on a UK singles chart. After the release of the deluxe edition, a music video for Feather was released on October 31st, 2023. Carpenter performed the song and Nonsense at the pre-show of the 2023 MTV Video Music Awards. It received generally favorable reviews from music critics and ranked on Rolling Stone and Billboard lists of the best albums of 2022. So the only songs I liked from our album were just Nonsense, which is a personal favorite of mine, and Feather. So I rate this an okay 6 out of 10. And following her Emails I Can't Send album on November 8th, 2023, Carpenter announced that she would be releasing her first Christmas-themed EP and revealed the track list through a post on her social media accounts. Fruitcake was released by Island Records on November 17th, 2023. She made a Christmas remix of the track Nonsense titled A Nonsense Christmas on December 7th, 2022, which I thought she should have kept because it was really no need to repeat the same song but slapping her name on it. The only song I liked on it was Santa Doesn't Know You Like I Do. So I rate this album, EP, of 5.5 out of 10. Okay, her short and sweet era was when her music started becoming interesting, so I dove back into her songs. Her 6th studio album was released on August 23rd, 2024, and is primarily a pop album that explores Carpenter's love life and her perspectives on 2020's dating. Its title is a reference to the emotional impact of her shortest romantic relationships, as well as her short stature and the album's brief runtime. She stated that Short and Sweet is her second big girl album, where she has had complete creative control of her music starting from Emails I Can't Send back in 2022, and it definitely shows that her music is where she wants it to be. Two singles, Espresso and Please Please Please, preceded the album's release. Both topped the Billboard 200 chart and exposed Carpenter to wider commercial success. I really do like Espresso a lot because it's giving vacation vibes, hanging out with your girls, and mall energy, and really great for commercial. I would have liked that in the beginning it was black and white first, except the sunglasses lens, and then when she starts singing, the color pops in. But that's just my opinion on it. Please 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 marked her first number one on the Hot 100, while all three songs simultaneously remained in the top 10 of the Hot 100 for 7 consecutive weeks, a record for any female artist in history. Upon release, Short and Sweet received acclaim from music critics who praised the confidence of the lyrics and the music enjoyability, and her album spent weeks atop the Billboard 200. But you can tell that she put more detail, more mature adult innuendos in her music and more snarky, clever wordplay. And I think that she's running with that as a brand, and I believe the kiss mark too. But it's an emoji. I'm not sure if she's affiliating that as part of her brand, but the marketing I see at the time, she seems to be steering in a forward direction. Short and Sweet and its tracks received 6 nominations at the 66th Annual Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year, and 1 for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Pop Solo Performance for Espresso. She also released a deluxe edition of the album, including a duet version of Please 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 with Dolly Parton and Busy Woman. The tracks I liked on her album were Taste, Good Graces, Bet Kim, Espresso, and Don't Smile. I would give this album a nice 7 out of 10. Now her current Man's Best Friend era is very intriguing. This is where the adult innuendos and very clever adult wordplay takes place. Man's Best Friend is the 7th studio album of Sabrina's, and it was released on August 29, 2025 by Island Records. Primarily a pop and soft rock record, its lead single, Man Child, charted at number 1 in Ireland, the United Kingdom, and United States, and in the top 10 in several worldwide territories. Carpenter selected Tears as the second single, released concurrently with the album. In 2025, Carpenter earned her second number 1 on the Hot 100 with Man Child, which debuted atop the chart and included on her 7th studio album, Man's Best Friend, in 2025. The album was certified platinum by the IRAA, and Man's Best Friend and its songs has earned 6 nominations, including Album of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Album at the upcoming 68th Annual Grammy Awards. She's experimented with different kinds of sounds of music on this album, and this is where you don't know where her overall aesthetic or brand truly is. It's different genres of music on one album, instead of just making one cohesive genre for one album where you know where she lies musically and what music she makes, and if she wants to be versatile and surprise us with a cool country or rock or R&B or pop album, it'll be an interesting surprise, and she could just drop it unexpectedly instead of announcing it. Other than that, I liked a couple of the songs on this album. However, you can still pass up her entire album and actually can do without having her music on your playlist, because Sabrina, as well as a lot of the music girlies in this day and time, don't stand out. No one has that draw and pull anymore. It's just really artists that come and go, and you're on to the next thing that can keep your attention, and then you're bored again and you're back listening to heavy-hitting artists like Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, and Ariana Grande. But Sabrina really does well commercially, in my opinion, on her music, and it could be used for coming-of-age dramas and Netflix movies. The tracks that stood out to me, in my opinion, were Tears, When Did You Get So Hot, and House Tour, my favorite. So I'll overall rate this album a 7.5 out of 10. We'll see how musically Sabrina keeps evolving as far as her being an artist is concerned, but as of now, we are watching her as she is coming up with the next thing that can work for her career, and I hope her next album is stellar and eye-catching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I appreciate you for watching. Feel free to leave comments if you want, and don't forget, you are fabulous exactly the way God made you. Get your groove on, and I hope you have a happy rest of your day. Bye!